Yo, ciao ragazzi. My name is Anthony, bringing all that energy from early in the morning. The big smiling gentleman next to me is Mo. Mo, welcome back on the channel for Inter Worldwide. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great as much as Inter is doing great for us.
We are doing great, man. There's a lot of optimism coming from Camp Inter, despite what all the rival fans and the media would like to make you out to believe. Some other good news is that there are 23 people who have already clicked the video. If you are someone backing off my little performance off Uncle Sharma's channel this morning, thank you so much. And as I said, I apologize if the content's a little bit repetitive, but as Mo just said, there's a lot of optimism, a lot of reasons to be positive. And we're going to go over to Mo to talk a little bit about why Limone Ball is getting everyone very, very pumped up. First things first, with some background business. What's going on to Sweden? Interista, Forza ragazzi, Forza yourself. With Sam is back in the house. Good to hear from you as always. King Darian, Anthony really changed kits, man. You got to keep it original, bro. From one kit to the next. If you see me do another video in the next 24 hours, I'll probably be in a third kit as well. Hello to Mr. Steffers, always joining the chat, and to the other 32 people that are around. It's a good crowd already. Mo, Limone Ball, balling out. And you know what? There's, as I just said, there's plenty of reasons to be optimistic, my friend. If not for Inzaghi, if just for the personnel on the pitch. And I said it on Sharma's channel this morning, the way that the existing players on this squad have handled the backroom shift and have handled the BS in the background, it's actually very, very, very admirable, man. What are your thoughts on the 3-0, let's call it a demolition of Dynamo, who, just for the record, guys, are not an easy team. They are the champions of Ukraine and one of the most pride-filled Balkan teams on the planet. So, Mo, over to you. Impressed with the outing?
Okay. All I'm going to say, guys, one thing is we can change the system. Finally, as much as I liked Conte, we can change the system. We played with a different system. We played with 1 forward and 4 midfielders, finally. And we still played amazing, right? 2 new signing on the field. Mr. Sensi's back for us with his brilliance, where you remember 2 seasons ago, Barcelona came knocking and say, hey, we want this guy next season. But unfortunately, fortunately, he got injured, so he wouldn't leave. And I hope that this season he's going to be pumped and he's going to play great. Second, can you imagine a striker landing today, sleeping, waking up, going to the field and scoring and assisting? This is what Edin Dzeko. I'm going to be realistic. Edin Dzeko is 35 years old, going 36. He's not going to be your future. But if Edin Dzeko can give you double digits this season in terms of goal and more than 15 goals contribution, assists and goals, I think we got our money's worth. As talking about Inzaghi, how about a coach that puts the winning mentality in the player's head? I think Conte put something in our DNA that was very hard to remove, which is I'm a winner and I will win this game, which is what he did for Juventus from 2011 to 2013, 14 before he left, and before Allegri took over. Allegri took over a team that is already winning, and they have already the winning mentality. But I think this guy, Inzaghi, has as much winning mentality as Conte. What do you think?
I think it's just, like I just said this morning, we're really going to break away from the whole Conte, Lukaku sort of foundation. And like the way that Lukaku was sold towards the end, it was the last straw, because when you have someone like Big Rom still there, the glitz and glamour of the Conte era is still hanging around. Not like a bad smell, but almost like you can't 100% move on when the centerpiece is still there. Lukaku's exit means one thing and one thing only. Project Limone Inzaghi is in full effect, and whoever is there with him right now is there in it to start this new project. The core of the side is still very, very strong. You've got your Barella, your Bastoni, Skriniar, De Vrij, Lautaro. If all these players are staying, which this season looks like they are, we go into next season with that fantastic, young, athletic, energized core. Not only that, there are a bunch of foundational players on this side where even though they're not the best on the pitch, they know exactly what this Maglia means and exactly how hard they need to play. I'm talking about the players like Damian, like D'Ambrosio, like Gagliardini, like Ranocchia, like Handanovic. You've got this mix of players in this club right now that know this is all that matters. It's all that matters. This in the chest means something, and it means something more to these players now. You go out there and you defend it with pride. I think there's a socio-cultural element to be excited about in this club as well. We've seen us have a little bit of a Yugoslav-Balkan connection in the past, but now it's back in full effect. Your Handanovic, Dzeko, Kolarov, Perisic, Brozovic, Skriniar. Man, we're balling out Eastern Europe-wise, and I think there's a lot of pride and professionalism that comes with being a part of these nations. And even if they're not there to contribute 100% on the pitch, go and ask any Inter player in that locker room and they'll say Alexander Kolarov was like having another trainer and another coach in there last season. I think we've got the mix of experience. We've got the mix of personnel. I'm very excited for Inzaghi because I think that we become a lot more unpredictable on the pitch than if we were going back into it with Conte and Lukaku. Now, I'm not saying we are going to be better, but what you said was true. Like we've broken out of the sort of PlayStation really calculated style of play where Conte, it's very systematic. You do your job and all the pieces will fall in together. There is going to be a little bit more freedom and fluidity in this Inzaghi style of play. And I, for one, I'm very excited to see if he adds any more other pieces to the puzzle. So thanks for the question, Mo. And I've got no choice. We've got to go over to some of these comments because they're flying in. There's 43 people here in the video right now, which is fantastic. We've got Leonardo here. Thank you. It's good to see you again. Emiliano says, I only see Juve challenging us because of Allegri. Likewise, bro, as I've said, like the gap in Serie A has closed due to no merit of the opposition sides. We have closed it on our own shortcomings. Don't give the other teams in Serie A credit. They have not closed the gap on us due to their own strength. What's going on from Dubai? It's a new era, boys, says Wasim. Noel's in the house. They played one-touch ball better than Conte football and something else. We don't rest on Lukaku. I think that's what everyone's starting to think at the moment. We don't need to rest on the centerpiece, Mo.
Yeah, you remember me like a week ago when I talked to you and I said, the thing about selling Lukaku is that Inzaghi's ball is different than Conte used to play a direct ball to the forward, but Inzaghi is relying on what Barella did yesterday for the first goal. If you guys didn't watch it, go watch it. Is exactly what Milinkovic-Savic does and what Luis Alberto used to do with Lazio for Inzaghi. It's the midfielders picking off balls from the forwards. The forward is not your focal point. The superstar, even though Immobile used to score for Lazio a lot, the paper, we're always talking about Luis Alberto and Milinkovic-Savic. They were talking about Milinkovic-Savic being the best midfielder in the league. Imagine you have the real best midfielder in the league, right? It's Barella, my guy.
He is.
Exactly. So imagine instead of just having a forward to rely on, you have a midfielder who can go. And also, we not need to forget about Mr. Hakan, who is an improvement at number 10. I can remember, can you remind me, Anthony, from 2010, since Schneider, when did we get a true number 10 that can play behind the forward with confidence and a reliable number 10? I can't remember a name.
Well, in theory, we've got one in Christian Eriksen. In practicality, we never saw barely 5 minutes of it. So I would agree with what you're saying. Since Wesley Schneider, this is the last true number 10, the last trequartista that can move between the lines, that can basically drop into a Metzala role in theory, but not take on that role, just drag other midfielders with him. He's flexible. He is decent on the ball, which means, as I just said, he can drop deeper if we are pushing the flow more towards the right-hand side, because I know Hakan, even though he's a central player, he tends to favor drifting just slightly to the left, just slightly, not even to the point where, unless you've watched the guy for years, will you absolutely notice it. I think he's looking forward to the players he has around him. I'm sure he would have been a lot more confident with Hakimi and Lukaku there, but he must be looking at this side, Mo, and going, I've got people around me where I didn't have it at Milan. I've got some players around me that can work with me a little bit better in this midfield. As good and tenacious and tough as Frank Kessié is, don't get it twisted. Frank Kessié cannot complement and help out Hakan the same way a Marcelo Brozovic or a Stefano Sensi or a Nico Barella can. I think Hakan's in for a good season. Stay fit, stay focused. Remember that, you've got a lot of Turkish pride, but leave that at the door. You loved it in Milan. He did think he was a little bit above the personnel at Milan. I think this experience will humble him a little bit. I'm just excited, Mo. I think we've got quality in depth. We don't have 2 teams just yet, but we've got a team 0.5. I reckon we've got 1.5 teams at the moment, man. And if we're going into next season with some depth on the bench, like Stancy, like Vidal, like Damian, I'm not that worried. It's nowhere near Armageddon Doomsday just yet, bro.
Since 2010 until today, okay, let me just put it another day. Until Conte came to the club, I was always worried going to Inter games. And I wanted that feeling of the Juventus guys. Like Juventus guys used to go to the games and you talk to the fans and they're like, no, we'll win this game. But now I have this feeling, even if Conte, and I want to stop talking about Conte and Lukaku. I'm talking about Inzaghi now. With Inzaghi, who can put a decent run, and I'm going to keep saying this until the guy does it, and you guys see it with your own eyes, that the guy can put you 10 games winning streak on the table, and he did something similar with Lazio, and he will do with a better side. It's basically Lazio with better players. No disrespect to any Lazio fans right here, or they're going to watch the video later, but these are better players. I'm sorry, these are better squad. Let's not talk about individuals. Maybe Luis Alberto will get into this squad, but defense-wise, wing backs, Lautaro Martinez, all these guys, they are better players. And Inter is a big club, and Inzaghi knows it, and Inzaghi knows that he has to win. Tactically, though, what I saw yesterday, if you want to talk a little bit of tactics before you get any questions, let me tell you something.
Go for it.
Hakan, Sensei, can play behind one of the forwards, and they will be just fine for us. We are not one injury away from a crisis like last season. Yep. Me and you on this channel said it 100 times, we're one injury away from a crisis. I don't think this is going to happen this season. What do you think?
I don't think so. I think, as I said, we've got some quality in depth where we didn't have it before. And I'm being absolutely serious. I think that we've got players who can rest, players who can come in and give it a run. I don't know what Sensi's role is this season. That's why I kept this comment up from Matteo. He could be like a new signing, man. And I know Mo's a big Sensi fan. I was a huge Sensi fan up until he kept getting injured through no necessarily fault of his own. But man, I just think with him there, we can really feel a presence that we haven't felt for a long, long time. I'm going to go over to a few comments before we keep it going. Thanks for the comment, Matteo. Robbie says Hakimi's replacement has arisen. Dumfries is going to be really good for us. As I said on Sharma's channel this morning, Mo, I actually didn't realize when we signed him that he was the captain for PSV. I knew he was a fan favorite, but we just got a captain of a team for 12.5 million. Can you please tell the people listening why it's important to not undersell this characteristic? Because when I found out he was the captain, I'm like, oh my goodness, that just elevated him even more. We took a captain off a big team.
Guys, talking on the field, a vocal person on the field is something that has a great weight in coaching. People talk on the field, lead the team, keep the morale up, encourage their teammates is a massive thing, and a captain will do that for you, even though he's not going to be a captain of Inter. But this is a big player at the age of 27, I think, or 26. To captain PSV is a massive thing. It's not. PSV is the second biggest club in the Netherlands. Yeah. So this is a massive thing. And for anybody doubting Dumfries, let me just tell you one thing. Athleticism, the guy's athletic. Physical-wise, the guy's big. Quickness, he is quick. Tactically, well, if Perisic can adapt to left wing back, and he was a winger, Dumfries, who actually plays left wing back for the national side, and for PSV sometimes with 3 in the back, I think he's going to adapt just fine.
Yeah, Fair call, man. Fair call. Let's go over to a few more comments before we talk about our new number 9, basically. Ahmed says, agree with the predictability thing. I'd say Conte's rigidness and predictability hindered us in Europe, and Inzaghi's fluidity will be like a breath of fresh air. As I've said before, we were really strong personnel-wise under Conte, but don't get it twisted. There were a lot of games, even when we won the Scudetto, where we got to minute 70, 75, 80, 85, and the game was still tied at 1-1, or the game was still tied at 0-0. And we had the physical fitness, the longevity on the pitch to get us over the line so many times. Don't forget,
Anthony, we need to give Conte credit. He installed a winning mentality in the club. Guys, I know that Conte left, but maybe Conte left because he knew the Sunning plan thing.
He did.
But I want to give him credit. I want to give the guy credit. He actually took us to a different level.
Yeah. Wissam says we need another striker, and that's where we're going to go into next. Yeah. After we just go through a few more comments, we're going to talk about Dzeko and another striker. Hamza says Inter will do better in Europe this season. We hope so. Remember, Inzaghi made Lazio relevant again. That's a good point. Mario, isn't he a funny dude? Cloud's pretty pumped. So Will says if we can sign another striker plus midfielder, clear a few fringe players like Pinamonti and Gagliardini, I will be delighted for this Mercato. Mo, I want you to talk a little bit about our new number 9, Edin Dzeko, about how he performed, how you think he's going to go this season, and then I want you to digress into who the last attacker is that we are going to bring in. Also, there is a rumor going around that we're done looking for forward reinforcements. For me personally, before we go over to you, I want to see something along the lines of a Correa or an Insigne possibly coming in. And if it means that Pinamonti has to go and Alexis Sanchez has to go, so be it. I woke up to some more rumors that he's out till September, Alexis, and that he's going to miss 3 World Cup qualifiers for Chile. Man, Mo, with Sanchez, his output was so needed last season, but most of his influence and link-up play came with Achraf Hakimi and Romelu Lukaku. It might be better to get Alexis's wage off the books sometime soon, man, and I'd take him off the books for an Insigne or a Correa. What are your thoughts on Dzeko, the forward situation, and Alexis Sanchez?
Number 1, Edin Dzeko played very well yesterday. He linked very well with the midfield, by the way. And he's not just a static. He's a very dynamic forward. He moved very well to the sides and went back to get the ball and did a lot of movement with the midfield. So he's a guy who will give you some really good minutes. He will give you a lot of good experience up top. And I think Lautaro Martinez will learn from him as much as he learned from Lukaku, if not even more, because of his experience. The guy's a winner. He won the Premier League with Man City, if I remember correctly. And you guys remember Edin Dzeko with Roma's run until the semifinal in the Champions League 3 years ago. The guy is a very good striker. Maybe we cannot rely on him for the Serie A games or every game in Europe, but he will give you a lot on the field in terms of character, flexibility, in terms of the guy can be a station up top and also can make some good passing. Lukaku was not like he used to give assists, but he's not the guy who was dropped to the midfield and replace one of the midfielders and stuff like this. Edin Dzeko does that sometimes, and we'll see that during the season. Lautaro is gonna be the guy up top, and Dzeko is gonna drop. Going to the forward situation, what are we gonna do? I know fans are excited about Insigne, and I'm telling you, it's a personal opinion, and I haven't told you this before, Anthony, even though we talk a lot outside of these shows. I'm not a big fan of Insigne on our team because I don't think, and I'm not bashing anyone, but I don't think the guy is a winner. I think he is tied to a Napoli team, and I don't think he brings something extra because of the positioning, the way they played, since they played with Sarri and then Rafa Benitez. You remember this ball? He is a left winger. We are not playing a left winger. We play only from the middle, and the guys that goes outside are going to be Dumfries or Darmian, DeMarco or Perisic. I do not want another winger to drop to the sides. So this is why I'm on favor of Correa. If his work rate improves, he's going to be a brilliant player. I'm more in favor for maybe Luis Muriel. I'm a big fan, you know that. I'm a massive fan of Luis Muriel, but it looks like he is staying at Atalanta. Correa, with the money they're asking for him, they're starting at 35 million. I don't think we're going to pay that. I think you agree on this. We're not going to pay 35 million. Insigne, though, is he going to bring experience? Yes. Is he going to give you 5 goals a season? Probably. 5 assists? Yes. But we'll have to adapt tactically to his game. Napoli adapts to Insigne's game instead of Insigne adapting to the tactics of the team. Because you have Insigne, you'll have to put a winger. And I think Inzaghi is not a wingers person. He's a more of a 3-5-2 or a 3-6-1 with 6 midfielders. He's not a wingers guy. So that's a massive thing. And this is why I'm not in favor of Insigne, but Correa, I think, is the better option for us. Are we going to get him? I doubt it, as you said. But I'm in for Satriano if you want. Maybe get some minutes from Dzeko here and there. Maybe.
If we can go into next season with Dzeko, Lautaro, Satriano, and Joaquin Correa, I'll be very, very confident. If there is no Correa and we're relying on Alexis Sanchez to be that sort of player, I will be very, very stressed. To be honest, I think this is the season where you really see Alexis Sanchez struggle the same way he struggled at Manchester United. A lot of poor pickups, too deep in the pitch, too many enclosed tight spaces, no Achraf Hakimi Lamborghini bombing down the sideline. So all Sanchez needs to do. I'm not discrediting his work, Mo, but a lot of the time last season, he did what he was strong at doing via Antonio Conte. You pick the ball up in an advantageous position, you move it forward in the advantageous position. Oh, and look, you've got the fastest player in the league on the right-hand side to connect up with. Dumfries is going to be great, but the relationship between Sanchez and the rest of his teammates is going to suffer this season, especially because I don't see him getting many consecutive minutes after each other. In my opinion, guys, it was great that Marotta was able to half his wage and stretch it. We were paying him $7 million a season. We are now paying him $7 million for the next 2 years. So we've stretched his contract over 1 year, $3.5 million a season. However, Joaquin Correa is not even going to pocket $3.5 million a season. I think if Marotta can work his magic somehow and send Sanchez to Lazio, that would be awesome. Maybe that takes about 12 million off the price for Correa. But yeah, we'll just see what happens, man. Let's go over to a few more comments. We got the Caribbean in the building. Barbados is in the house. We had Javier from Jamaica coming in as well. Marco says, I'd like to see Raspadori, but there are no rumors around him yet. Raspadori is going to join us next season, bro, in my opinion. Another Interista, someone who's ready to make the jump soon, but who needs more games. Raspadori, yeah, he needs more minutes, man. So give him another good season. Ali's back in the house. Sorry for being late. That's okay, my friend. I'm a little inconsistent these days with lockdown in Sydney. Whatever the clock says, man. Gerald, what's going on, bro? Ant and Mo, would you be as happy if Conte was still here? Bro, we're smiling through the pain here still, bro. Don't get me wrong. In an ideal world, there's no COVID and Conte stays and we still piss the league by 5 games next season. Don't get this twisted. Without COVID, Conte would have pissed the league for another 2 years. He has got Serie A by the neck, Mo. So that's the only reason I'm happy moving forward and progressive, but Inter fans who are like trying drastically to discredit Conte, don't get it twisted, man. We had our name on the Scudetto if Conte was staying with Lukaku and Hakimi, yeah?
Absolutely, man. Okay, no, I don't want to talk about Conte a lot, but guys,
me too.
Conte is a big coach, okay? Conte is one of the best coaches in a league in the world. The guy went Chelsea first season, created a team and won, came to us. Yes, we bought players, but actually we sold players as well. He got rid of Icardi, but won the league with Lukaku, right? He is a great coach, and he will win you stuff. Like you're not gonna pass a Conte's reign without winning anything. He will win you stuff. So he's a big coach.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you about something.
Go for it.
It's a personal opinion, right? But would you start Perisic or DiMarco? Based on a preseason, because this is the only time you get to see these players.
Yeah, we just finished discussing this on Sharma's channel as well. Like we think that he's going to start Perisic for the right reasons, that sort of continuity, that sort of mental thoroughness. I said it could be for a reason where Perisic is the type of player where he can play shit in the first 20 minutes and it won't affect this here. He'll still be able to like take it forward and come back, whereas you don't really want to shake DeMarco's confidence first game of the season. I would say that that's a stretch, and DeMarco's confidence can no longer be shaken. I reckon he's ready to go. We're not bringing him up from the youth academy, giving him a good preseason and playing. This is the dude who was loaned out to Parma, scored a rocket, and if they had their finances better, Parma were ready to buy him. This is the guy that went to Hellas Verona, had an amazing season to the point where halfway through last year, we were already saying he's coming back. He's coming back next season. By January last season, we were already saying DiMarco's coming back next season. The dude is ready. I think he's ready for match day 1. I don't think he starts match day 1, but the dude is ready. If it was up to me and I was in Limone Inzaghi's position, I would definitely start DiMarco over Perisic. However, I am not opposed to starting Perisic to start the season. What are you saying, man?
I say DiMarco. Okay. It's a blessing, man. We have two wing backs that have totally different characteristics. One that can cross from the midfield with his left. DeMarco can cross early crossing, and one that can dribble really well inside the 18. Dude, Perisic did this yesterday about 5-6 times, where he does his one step over and then play the ball cross. DeMarco doesn't do this. DeMarco crosses early. So it's a blessing, like for Inzaghi, to have both players. They're different, and I think they're different characteristics, different abilities. Technically, they're different. Physically, they're different. So I think he's gonna choose one of them based on the opponent, which is some coaches, they say this is the best thing that I have two different players. I can put them in depending on if I'm playing Cuadrado or I'm playing Calabria, right? And I'm playing De Lorenzo. It depends who's the fullback against me, and I'll put the guy that will do the job there. That's a blessing. But for me, I can't compare both. They're totally different. I'm not gonna say who's better, who's worse. They're just different technicalities right there.
Yeah, well said, man. Guys, a little bit of housekeeping and a little bit of a favor that you are going to do myself. We need some more likes on this video, guys. There's 51 people in here right now, but we're only on 18 likes. So we need to get those up. If you are in the video right now, don't leave before liking the video. Share it around and leave a comment. And also, there is a link in the description to our Twitter feed at the moment where I pinned tweet. We are still giving away some of our Inter Worldwide merch, some of our Campioni 19 merch, and our Milano range as well. We are going to be doing a draw later this week. In order to be in it to win it, please make sure you go to our Twitter and retweet that particular one right there. Guys, we're going to move into another couple of topics before we move on to something else. I'm just going to leave this pinned up here just for another minute or so. So yes, once again, giveaway is coming. Make sure you go over to our Twitter. Comments time once again. Here we go. Indra Hari, what's up, my brother? You've been with me from day one. I think Insigne is quite fit for Simone's 3-5-2. Insigne moves wide to combine. Bro, Insigne's good. He's just a one-trick pony, man. And we saw it at the Euros. Like, the less athletic and physically fit the guy is getting, the more his repertoire is now very one-dimensional. I would say you would almost prefer a Matteo Politano because of how physically and aesthetically pleasing he would be to an Insigne right now. Maybe that's the reason why Spalletti doesn't feel like he's going to be needed as much. The only way I want Insigne to come in is if Beppe Marotta hits some sort of masterclass where he sends Roberto Gagliardini to Napoli. We put 10 M's on top, and then we've got Insigne. What would you say to that, Mo?
It's Beppe Marotta.
It's possible.
For free. Shipping Icardi for 70 million to PSG. Doing Hakimi for 70 million. The most expensive. Guys, Hakimi was more expensive than Kyle Walker. He's more expensive than any fullback in the history. He's it's the only Pepe Marotta, man. If he can do this, yes, I'm fine to do it. But let me ask you this, Anthony. Would you have, if you're going to switch to that formation, would you have a second striker as a winger or a midfielder? Would you play Hakan Sensi or would you play Insigne? For me, I'll play Sensi.
Me too.
I'll play Hakan a little bit deeper because of his physicality. He can go back and defend more than Sensi. But I wouldn't play. Insigne would be my third choice. What about you, bro?
If we were playing a 3-5-2 and everybody was fit, it doesn't really matter to me. As long as that midfield has Barella and Brozovic in it, like I'm looking at Sensi and Hakan going, either one of you two should be able to do the next part in this system for me. We should even get to a point now where Brozovic and Sensi are on the same page as Brozovic and Eriksen were last season. Yes, on paper you have a position, but in practical sense, your role stretches way further than just the deep line register. Your role stretches way further than the Metzala between the lines. You have very specific roles and jobs to do. The 3-5-2, I think I wouldn't be opposed to it. I really think we just need to get more bodies forward. But we've got our midfielders like to push forward, Mo. We don't have midfielders in our team that are happy to just stay back. Our midfielders are progressive midfielders. They pass the ball forward. They drive the ball forward. They look for space forward. And that's what I'm looking forward to with Inzaghi, that more direct parallel sort of play. With the striker situation, the forward, I wanted to piggyback and ask you something else that I was talking about with Sharma. If we can bring in Correa, I think that opens up a whole new diverse element to how you can make in-game substitutions as well for Inzaghi. And I think at Inter is where Inzaghi is going to improve his in-game substitutions. It's definitely one of his flaws as a manager at Lazio. His in-game substitutions left a little bit of questioning. But for me personally, how awesome would it be to see a game where Dzeko and Lautaro start and the game is going well, it's going comfortable, and with about 25 to 30 minutes left, you take out Dzeko, Lautaro goes into the number 9, and Joaquin Correa comes into play off Lautaro. The defenders are already having a nightmare thinking about something like that. Even in an alternate world, Lautaro can play in a 2-striker system. We kind of want him to adopt that more number 9 role this season and get those extra goals to make up for Romelu Lukaku's presence. Joaquin Correa can play off him there as well. I'm all on the Correa train at the moment, provided we're not putting up stupid money like 38 to 40 million for him, Mo.
Yes, Correa is going to be a great signing for us. The guy.
He's an Interista as well. He's Uno di Noi. Don't forget that. We always welcome
Number one, he's Argentinian. That's number 1. Number 2 is an Interista. Number 3, the guy is not old.
No.
And he is already in Serie A for years. So he's good to go. Like this is a guy who's going to come in, plug him in. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go. Played with Insigne before. So what else do you need? I think he's a better option than Zapata for me because of resale value. If the guy plays good, and you want a more stature of a striker, you can still sell Correa. So the thing about Correa that will bring that, if you have Correa on the bench and you have Hakan on the bench or Sensi, the opponent will think that you have 2 options. It's either you bring a midfield or you bring a forward. But if you only have the 2 forwards, your only move is to switch one of them and get a midfielder. But as you said, more flexibility, more options on the bench is always better. And if the more options are is a forward, this is great. That extra forward guy is absolutely fantastic, rather than playing Perisic as a second striker like we did some games last year. So we need a forward.
Yeah. Give big shout out to Ragazzo Italiano. I know he's a Juve fan, but every time he comes in here with a lot of respect and a lot of constructive conversation as well. And I always welcome that. It's a nice change of pace. He says, do you think Inter should set up an under-23s team in Serie A like Juve, or does it completely devalue Serie A? I reckon that's a fantastic conversation for when Italian football drags itself out of the 9th pit of hell, which at the moment doesn't look like it's going to happen, man. So great question, great substance behind the question. I think way down Inter's priority list at the moment, man. We're just trying to sort ourselves out.
I saw the Juventus team in I think somewhere in Italy a couple of years ago, the B team. They were riding the train going somewhere, right? Like these guys are like young, but I think they bring some of them. Frabotta, is it Frabotta came from team, right?
He's on loan this season to I just spoke about it yesterday.
But last year, before 2 years ago, before they bring him to the team last year, he was in Juventus B, right? Like he was in that. So it's a good feeder to you.
Yeah.
But we're not very successful with youth. That just put it this way, to come to our team. So
I know. Kenya's in the house. Nice to see you again. Karim says, is there any truth to the Gagliardini to Milan? I doubt it, but never say never, bro. Like I don't see many of our players wanting to switch our maglia for the red and black one, but it depends. It really depends. Some people might be at the point of their career where they're like, I win the Scudetto, I don't really care where I go next.
But the only thing that Gagliardini might think about is that he wants to be in the World Cup squad, and the only way you can do that is to move to a team where you play. And they know that Kessie and Ben Nasser, both of them are going to the African Cup of Nations for 4 weeks, so it's going to be his chance to play. I don't like Gagliardini on the field because I don't think his abilities are actually suitable for a top 8 team in Serie A. But if Milan wants him, go ahead, and without money, I don't care, because I think the guy needs to find something other than Inter to do, especially for keeping Vidal and Vicino, Anthony. Especially if both of them are staying, I don't think Gagliardini is gonna get a minute. I think he's gonna be the bottom of the pick order. So if he wants to go ahead, go. So
let's talk about this for a second, man. Thoughts on the Lukaku message? I thought it was hilarious. I had a friend tell me this morning, better late than never. I'm like, bullshit. Is that what you say at a restaurant when your food comes out 45 minutes late and it's cold? That's like, honestly, man, the apology. So it wasn't even an apology. It's just you could have come out a lot earlier and said this. I don't want to drag on it too much, but the way he's acted and the way he's spoken today, it really suits. We know that it wasn't just Suning. There was something going on behind the scenes when he was in the off season in America, and I think it's just time to forget about it, Mo. What do you think?
I'm just upset at my club that he couldn't pay the salary that he wanted. It's as simple as this. I wanted Lukaku in the club. I liked Lukaku as a player. I learned that, and I said that on Twitter, and I said that with you before. Players come and go, clubs stay. There's very few Zanettis and Maldinis in the world. There's few Lampards in the world. There's few Mark Noble. There are very few of these guys in the world. So players come and go. Cristiano left Real Madrid. How about Messi leaving Barcelona? Guys, he's just a player. He does what's best for him, for his family, for his career. It's on us as a club to keep him. He only came for 2 years, gave us a lot. Don't get me wrong. He gave us a lot. He also got paid to give us that. He didn't play for free. He got paid, and he got lots of love from our fans. He was the king of Milan for a long time, and he's gone now. I don't care if he send a message or I really don't care. You know what? It doesn't matter. Anthony, if we win Scudetto this year or we win it next year, I promise you, you'll forget about Lukaku. You will forget that Lukaku was here.
We have lost way more.
He was a striker, came for 2 years, we won the Scudetto, and you're going to only remember one thing. You're going to remember that Conte won you the league. You're going to remember Barella who stayed. But you're not going to remember Lukaku. You're going to, good striker, came, scored 60 goals, fine. Icardi scored more than him. Do we even remember Icardi?
What do they say? What do they say at the end of a long relationship? You don't cry because it ends, you smile because it happened to begin with. And that's what I'm doing right now, man. Like, we won the Scudetto. Everyone in the background can point fingers, the rival fans, and laugh at our demise. I'm like, guys, the history books have already been engraved. Campeonato 19 is ours. You're not getting it back. So that's it, man. Just let it rest.
He's not the Capocannoniere, right? He's not the Capocannoniere.
That's okay. Do you think we will get Nandez? Now, this is the last transfer that I think is. This is a tricky one. See, if I was Nandez, I would have the shits big time, and I'll tell you why. This reeks of Cagliari just being peasants, being like a real peasantry sort of club. And I think as soon as Raja Nainggolan, who literally does what he wants, he doesn't care about Cagliari, out into nobody. As soon as Raja decided to not go back to Cagliari, they've sort of put like a stop on the Nandez move. Now, this is not going to work for Cagliari for a few reasons. The first one is that they thought they were getting their third or fourth free ride with Nainggolan in 2 seasons. That didn't happen. Now they're pissed off. Nandez has already said, don't block this move. Don't hold out on the last big move of my career. Nandez will drink water on the sideline before he plays for Cagliari again, in my opinion, man. He does. There is no way they're going to get a good player out of him this season. He'll bomb on purpose. I do think that we are going to get him. And I do think now, with our squad looking deeper, with the arrivals that we've had, Dzeko, your starter, your new Dumfries at right wing back, now's the perfect time to bring a Nandez in who is versatile, who can come into midfield when he needs to, who can play on the right flank when he needs to. This also makes the sale of a Roberto Gagliardini that much easier. What do you think, Mo? Do you still think we're going to land Nathan Nandez?
No, I don't think so. If Sensi is fit. Because so the plan, guys, I think what I heard from the reports is that the plan was actually to try to sell Sensi and then get another midfielder and try to get Vidal off the books and Vecino to be sold. So we're not going to have 20 midfielders on the field, right? Like when we can't. Hey, Ian, how are you doing, man? So we can't do 20 midfielders on the field, right? And we already got a right back. We're looking for a striker. Why would we go after Nandez? And especially if Cagliari wants money today, right? Cagliari, they want money now. They don't want money later. So if we can get him on loan, fine. I wouldn't get my hopes up. He's a good piece in the puzzle. But I'm sorry. We have 5 midfielders better than him now at the moment. With Vecino playing full fitness, I think Vecino's even better than Nandez. I'm sorry, but Vecino scores. Vecino goes in the 18. Vecino did a lot of stuff for us. I would play Vecino over Nandez.
I think Vecino's role this season coming back, he's not going to be asked to do much with the ball, obviously, in midfield. Vecino's going to be told one thing and one thing only by Inzaghi. You bomb yourself forward, get yourself into those goal-scoring opportunities, because as far as clutch players bombing forward from midfield, he's probably still our most goal-scoring threat when he wants to be. He loves a good eye for goal, doesn't really have the eye to play some technical passes, and I've still got a lot of post-traumatic stress disorder from him playing in a double pivot with Gagliardini under Spalletti, but it is what it is, man. and we move forward. There's still 48 people here right now. So you need to like the video. You need to subscribe if you're new. You need to share it on some of your social platforms to keep the momentum growing. The English-speaking Inter community is thriving. I was talking about it with Sharma this morning, and he was like, I thought, when you win the Scudetto, more people would follow. And then we dipped off, and I thought we're going to lose people. I'm like, bruv, the only time people watch the news in the world is when there's a crisis going on anyway. So that's what brings the people. The flow is back in. We need goals. Another attacker is a must. Yeah, 100%, man. Let's not skip out and rest on our laurels there. Karim says, I heard Leeds are trying a Nandez move, plus Cagliari trying to cover the place. Nangolan left with Nandez. Bruv, if they think Nandez is going to step on the pitch for them next season and put out, This is the sort of just behavior from a club that makes a player not want to play. And if Nandez has already said, don't block my next move, I want to go to Inter, he is going to give a 5 out of 10 performance for Cagliari. It's in their best bet to cash in. Tim has got to head off. Thank you. You have a great day at school, my friend, whether you're working from home or not in Australia. Indra Hari, Cagliari changed their mind knowing Inter are getting a lot of money from the Lukaku sale. Nothing wrong with that, but I feel bad for Nandez. Yeah, but at the end of the day, man, they're valuing him at like 25, 30 million. We don't have that sort of money to put down. So
and it's too much for him. It's too much.
It is, yeah.
It is too much.
Yeah. Ragazzo Italiano, you're doing well here, man. Bringing us breaking news. That could be like maybe one of your unofficial gigs whenever you're in our chat, man. Just keep us updated with the news. Vlahovic close to Tottenham. Tottenham offered 60. Fiorentina wants 70. I think Vlahovic, at one point, there has to be a striker going to Tottenham. And Mo, our EPL expert correspondent on Football Worldwide, will digress into this more on the other channel. Harry Kane, even though there's no move yet, surely still has Manchester City on his horizon. If Tottenham get Kane money, they are obviously going to spend said Kane money. And it looks like they're going to spend it in Italy. They want Lautaro. I don't think they get him. I don't think Lautaro wants to go anywhere near that part of North London. But if it's going to be Vlahovic, it could be Vlahovic as well. Any comment on this, Mo?
Yeah, it's after today's loss for Man City, I think they're going to go hard for Kane. They're going to offer a lot of money. And
I reckon Pep Guardiola threw the game on purpose so he could get another 200 million from Daddy Sheikh.
Probably, yeah. But it worked out really well for Daniel Levy, right? It worked really well. Winning the game for him, he can ask for more money because he knows that you guys want a forward. He's here for 150 and instead of 120 that he didn't want to pay.
150 million is going to be
pounds,
their asking price.
Pounds.
That's over
that's
200.
crazy.
That's over
for 29
Australian. That's over 200 Australian.
It's just the Premier League. It seems like they're not in crisis. There's no pandemic there. It's it never happened.
Fiorentina will struggle to find a replacement for Vlahovic with Calcio Mercato going to end very soon. 100%. Indra Hardy, make sure you subscribe to Football Worldwide because we'll discuss all Serie A clubs there. In terms of the rest of the news mode, that's pretty much where the Inter news stops for today. But I'm pretty sure it's going to pick up again tomorrow. So if anyone wants us to keep this video going, there's still 48 people here right now. Keep the questions coming in. Don't leave. At 6:47 a.m., I've still got heaps of time. Before I go over to Mo, let's just give a nice little shameless plug to our other platform. Guys, if anybody hasn't realized yet, we have started a second platform called Football Worldwide where we bring you content not only just from Italian football, but all over Europe. This is myself with my panel speaking midweek. And basically, this is the Serie A roundtable. So if you are on this channel right now, do us all a solid. Head over to the Football Worldwide YouTube channel and all the socials and give us a follow and a subscribe over there so that you can keep enjoying this sort of content. Look at Hakan. He's made the right choice. He has made the right choice, man.
Absolutely.
He's going to have a good season, bro.
Guys, find us on Twitter as well. My Twitter handle is right there. I post a lot of stuff from Inter Worldwide and Football Worldwide as well. We're trying to expand the channel. We're trying to do a lot of stuff. If you're an EPL fan, I got a great show. Listen to my preseason show. It's right there in the Football Worldwide with like well-known journalists. Anthony gets a lot of good guests, journalists as well. We try to do the whole world, not only Inter. We're still gonna be here, of course, for Inter. This is my club. It's like you can look behind and you know that I'm a fan of EPL, but this is it for me. You can say from behind what I'm about for. So this is. But go back to Inter, Anthony. I'm excited. Are you as excited as last season?
I'm not as excited in a sense, like universally emotionally. Last season, I was more nervous, way more nervous, because last season, I'm sure you'll agree, with Conte and everyone at the helm and after finishing second, if we didn't win it last season, when the F were we going to win it again? Let's be real. We really had to break the monkey last season. We had to break the drought for the overall good health and future of this club. I will still sit here right now, despite what all the rival fans are saying and going, would you swap the Scudetto for the continuity after Conte, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't swap anything. I take my 19th Scudetto to the bank, I tattoo it to my chest, and I remember it for the rest of my life. And we go again and we move forward now. What we've just done in this offseason, the shambles, has effectively allowed me to go into next season more excited to not be as emotionally stressed. I'm not going to go into every game going, holy shit, if we lose, it's the end of the world. If we lose, we're going to bomb the Scudetto. If we lose, we lose. Next season, it's experimental for me for all the right reasons. I think we can only grow as a club, as a team, and as like a unit, basically. So yes, to answer your question more shortly, I think I am more excited for this season than I am for last season. I don't expect to win as many games. I don't expect to win the Scudetto. Last season was more of an obligation for us as a club and an obligation as an Inter fan to feel that again. This season, it's going to be parts of Inter, but hey, man, we just won the Scudetto playing parts of football. I don't care what anybody says. That will always stay the same. I'm excited for the right reasons, Mo.
Dude, believe in the club. I know a lot of people on Twitter, on this platform, said that we're not, after Fiorentina game in the beginning and after losing some points, they said we're not even going to make top 4. We won the league. It's not only that we didn't make top 4, we won the league. Plus, we won it 5 games in advance, 4 games.
Yeah.
In advance.
What about this comment though, Mo? I've seen the headlines this morning about Inter being up for sale as the rumor. Like this shouldn't surprise many fans. We should know this already. I think it looks like Suning and Zhang might start to look for an offer. You might ask yourself why they didn't just sell for 900 million to BC Partners. Maybe it's because they really thought they could dig themselves out of this hole. I think they've realized now that they can't. They have subsidized the debt by a good... Man, Marotta and Suning, you got to hand it to them, bro. They really cleared 200 M's off the debt in the space of a week. They cleared 200 million off the debt in the space of a week. Yeah, we suffer as the fans. We suffer. But at the end of the day, they did their business, and I think they are going to sell, Mo. What do you think is going to happen, man?
I think they're going to sell the club, and it's going to be...
Who's going to come in? Like, we need a legacy. I know everyone's saying we need a legacy owner. We need someone who's there to pump money into the club. We're not looking for a hedge fund. What's going to happen, though? Because we're in a shit position, man.
The problem is not us. The problem is Serie A. The problem is not Inter. Nobody wants to buy a club in Serie A. It's a shit show. Like broadcasting wise, fields, the government, all this stuff is just a shit show. So that's gonna be the hard part, is convincing somebody to come buy a club in Serie A and invest their money. So are we gonna are they gonna sell the club? Hopefully. Is Inter SPAC gonna get some money gonna get some shares from them? Maybe.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rumors going about like selling part of the club and then putting the other part for the fans, like Germany, stuff like this.
Yeah.
But the valuation of the club is at 700 million. Not 3, like 2 years ago, not 4. It's 700 million, which is a lot of money and requires a lot of dedication.
A lot.
Maybe we can sell it to some oil money. Maybe, hopefully.
That'd be great. Give me a sheikh any day of the week. I've been wanting one. I've been wanting a big Arab daddy for a long time to come in and take care of our club, bro. Hamza, I wanted to bring this comment just for your attention, Hamza. You should also post your videos on Rockfin. Bruv, me and Mo went and checked that out, and we didn't like the look of it. It looked a bit shady. So if you want us to post on Rockfin, you need to send me a message, Hamza, and give me a little more details, because we did suss out that platform, and there was a couple of red flags for us, my G. I just wanted to bring that up. Indra Hardy says again, Scudetto, who cares? It's not like any other clubs didn't have debt. Exactly, bro. And as I keep saying it again, what are we up to? Meeting number 17 for Locatelli and Juventus? I'm sure they'll get him at the end. I'm not going to look stupid at the end of the market, because I keep saying they will get him at the end. They always do. But if they were so healthy, Mo, they would have gotten the best defensive midfielder in Serie A before the Euros started. They have the best winger in Serie A in Chiesa. They still haven't even paid half of it to Fiorentina yet. If they really had the money, they would have paid that yesterday as well. They can sook that Paris is ruining football all they want. 3 years ago, 4 years ago, Juventus make up the wage gap on Donnarumma and they get their Gigi for the next 20 years. They are unhealthy. Milan selling their 2 starters for free means they are also unhealthy. Napoli do not have a shirt sponsor, unhealthy. Literally, the only big purchase we have seen in Serie A has been from Roma overnight, Tammy Abraham, 40 M's. Besides that, what's happening in Serie A? The gap has not closed due to the merit of the other teams. The gap has closed because we shot for the stars and unfortunately we fell a little harder. That's the bottom line.
In the news, it's only Inter in
Always.
crisis. Always Inter in crisis. There is nothing else but Inter saying Lukaku and Hakimi. Oh my God, you guys are in crisis.
It's not good.
At least we sold them.
It's not good for brand.
For free.
It's not good for brand fear and brand Agnelli to have lack of Juve transfer business in the media every single day, bro. It doesn't look good. I love this question, man, and I'm going to shoot it over to Mo next. Who do you think is the leader in the dressing room now? Leaders, brother, plural. We don't have one leader, and that's why this team is going to survive this season. Arturo Vidal is a leader despite his shortcomings on the pitch. Samir Handanovic is our captain. Milan Skriniar and De Vrij are captains without an armband. Kolarov is a man manager in the dressing room. Ask any Inter player. They'll tell you how much they love Kolarov's presence. You've got the professionalness and the tenacity of Ivan Perisic. Trust me. And even as I said, we've got our reserve leaders, our ones that aren't going to give you everything on the pitch, but don't ever question Ranocchia, D'Ambrosio, Damian, Gagliardini. These guys, they will bleed and die for this Maglia. Don't ever get that twisted, man. We've got leaders in the dressing room. Mo, when I look at this team now compared to where we were with Icardi as captain, different football club.
Dzeko, man. Dzeko is a captain of... Guys, we got the captain.
We poached 2 captains, Mo. Dumfries and Dzeko for 12.5 million in the space of 2 days. They won't put that on the front page of Corriere dello Sport, will they?
No, they won't. They will just tell you that we got the cheap wing back who only performed in Europe, but they won't tell you he's the captain of PSV that played Champions League year in, year out, and they won't tell you that we got the captain of Roma who played semi-final Champions League and took them to the semi-final Champions League 2 years ago. They won't tell you this. They will tell you we got the deadweight from Roma, and they will tell you that we got a tournament wonder in Dumfries, but they won't tell you anything else. They won't tell you that Lukaku's gone for 115 million, but Hakan is gone for free and Donnarumma is gone for free. They just won't tell you this.
Yeah. And go on. Noah says this season, watch out for Atalanta for the league.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think the bubble bursts a little bit, but they've got, in my opinion, when I look at them on paper, they can still do it. It's just with Champions League football rotating. It's that big club mentality. When the going gets tough, can the tough get going? I don't know.
Top 4, probably winning the league. Nah, I don't think so. The Gasperini wants to play beautiful football, but I don't think he has it in him to win the league. The league needs an Allegri, a Conte, maybe a Sarri can win the league, but I don't think a Gasperini will win the league, to be honest. I think he's just there to take the club always to make money and to take the players to the next level, play beautiful football, enjoy his time there. But I don't think he's the killer mentality that Conte has and Allegri. That he doesn't. I don't think he has it. I think Inzaghi has it. To be honest, I do. Fair. I see him yelling on the side. Go ahead.
Yeah, fair. Wissam says, by the way, where are we going to watch next season in AU? So I brought this comment. Wissam, I actually didn't know you were living down under, man. So let me know whereabouts you're living. I watch it on the KO platform, but that's only because I jip Bruno's account. Such a gentleman, such a generous person. Other than that, watching Serie A is difficult, man. If you've got a betting account, like a Bet365 or a sports bet account, you can leave like $1 or $2 in your betting account, and then you can live stream anything on the website. It's sort of like a gambling hack. I'm not really much of a gambler, but what I do is I open an account. I let $5 like sit in the account. That way I can just watch any sport that I want because they think you're betting on it. So there's a little hack as well, bro. Other than that, enjoy some live streams with some really passionate Arabic commentary, man.
How about the VPN?
As Mo said, like a VPN. If you don't know what that is, it's just like basically a sort of like an incognito tracker where you can tap into different channels around the world. Most of them cost in between $50 to $100 a year. What else we got over here? We spoke about this in Jahari. Any new rich family in Italy who loves Inter? Rich and Italy? I don't know, bro. I don't know if we're going to use it in the same sentence for a while, man. Don't care where an owner is from as long as they love Inter. 100%. Yeah. Papa Zang loved Inter. Don't get me wrong. It's just that he should have known where to quit He should have known where the restrictions were at, man. He should have walked away after Scudetto and went, you know what? We sell today, we celebrate tomorrow, maybe we come back in the future. But now the book's closed, the project's closed. I was looking forward to a possibility of rekindling a project like this somewhere down the line with Conte and Oriali, but I think that ship has sailed, and it's just better to just move on now. What else? Omar says, if Marotta leaves, God help us all. We're not even entertaining that conversation yet, man. Hopefully we get him an extension.
Doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We'll survive. I promise you, we'll survive. We're here. Me, after 20 years of supporting Inter, 23 years. We're still here, and we won Champions League. We won 6 Scudettos. It doesn't matter. We'll still be here.
100%. Yes, Hamza, we are on Instagram. Send us a DM there, please. I would be very interested to hear what you say. The artist Javier from Jamaica says he agrees with you, Mo. He's more excited for this season than last season. Good stuff. Atalanta have done well. Would you like a Netflix series for Inter? No, I don't want no all or nothing. I don't want no documentaries that start in the middle of the season and then you finish in the top 4 or 10th, and then there's a documentary on how shit you are. How could you even tune in as a fan? As a Tottenham fan, how could you even put that documentary on knowing what happens at the end? It's like lambs to the slaughter, bro. I would never, ever watch a documentary that is made before success happens, bro. What are your thoughts on that, Mo?
I don't care about the documentaries, to be honest. I enjoyed the Tottenham one. I enjoyed the Man City one. I enjoyed the Leeds one. There's so much fun to watch, but
from a neutral point of view, it's fun. If Inter had a shit season and they were making a documentary, would you be sitting on the couch going, yeah, let's go?
I enjoy. So, for example, I enjoyed the Leeds one because at the end they made it to the Premier League. Yeah. I'm gonna enjoy Inter's one if we win the Scudetto or go to the semi-final of the Champions League. But if we go out at the round of 16 or the group stage and we come 4th in the league or 5th, I'm not gonna enjoy the documentary. I don't want to watch failure, because to me, we should be challenging for Scudetto, quarterfinals at least in Champions League, and anything less than this, I think it's a failure. People tell me round of 16 for Champions League, brother.
We are in pot 1, man. We're in pot 1. We should be aiming higher than the round of 16. Yes. Even though, as Inter luck, we all know we're probably going to draw PSG and Manchester United out of the hat, pot 2 and 3. But as Mo said, who cares? We're pot 1. We're the champions. Go in there, get the points. Lazio had a tough group last year and got through from despite Borussia Dortmund being in their group as well. We can do it. Expectations are high for Dumfries. I agree. We're going to move into the last few comments before we break out in peace. Ragazzo, you've added a lot to this live stream, man. Thank you so much. The only club that have made a big step forward is Torino with Juric, at least in my opinion. Ragazzo, please go over to the Football Worldwide platform and like and subscribe. You will really vibe with the Serie A roundtable show that I did yesterday, man. We went into proper depth for every single club. And one of the things that we said was Hellas Verona losing Ivan Juric means they probably lose 3 or 4 spots in the Campionato next season as well, especially considering their lack of signings as well. Hamza says Gasperini can win the league. Debatable. It's a 3-horse race between Atalanta, Juve, and Inter. I have some doubts about Allegri. I have doubts about Allegri as well. You know me, bro. I don't necessarily like to talk about what's going to happen to Juve on the pitch and results-wise, because I'm more geared to just think by default they're always going to win the season. But you can't ignore the panic mode. You can't ignore what's going on at their club. It's there. It's facts. We're not making this shit up. With Sam, you're in Melbourne. What's up, brother? Hopefully things are a little bit better in Melbourne than they are in Sydney. I'm pretty sure they are, albeit I haven't turned the news on for a good week. Not good for mental health over here. KO lost the Serie A. Did they really? Because I really thought they were still on. I really thought they were still on. No, that's okay. No, don't be sorry to me, bro. Be sorry to Bruno. I'll have to message him after this, bro. Being Sport lost. Yeah, I know Being Sport lost a lot of it as well. And I know that Stan is picking up the Champions League. So, yeah, it's going to be tough, bro. That's why I said, bro, leave $5 in a betting account. You don't have to worry about paying for 3 different streams.
Which website is this, the betting account? Bet123?
365.
You can watch the games there?
You can't watch Premier League. You can't watch Champions League. But La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A, Eredivisie, PSG, Europa League, everything but those 2 competitions stream right on the minute. It's quite good as well. You don't get commentary either, so you can just you hear all you hear all what they're saying as well. Even before COVID, you didn't get commentary. Inzaghi will get his first Serie A title within 2 years. Big call. I think Mo definitely agrees with you.
Ahmad, they're gonna get it this year. Not next year,
bro.
This year. If everybody stays healthy, we'll win Scudetto this year, not next year.
Our Instagram ID is just Interworldwide. Hamza, one word. I'm a fan since 1988. Thank you very much, Leonardo. Forza Inter. That's really good. What up, Don? Don Sama in the house. United are in pot 2. Cool. So we'll get United or PSG. No problem. Inter's put up a status. I'm not too sure what it is. Ahmed, can you describe it? Because I can't click that hyperlink in this particular ad. I think they might have Inter just announced Eden. What a disappointment. That's fantastic. We can finish off the video with that announcement. Let's go straight to the Inter Twitter and check it out. Mo, did you think it was funny how Eden Dzeko scored his first goal as an Inter player without actually being an Inter player?
It was phenomenal. People couldn't believe it. And Samuel is like, hold on. But he's not an Inter player. But he scored for us. I'm like, yeah, bro. He started, assisted, scored, and he's not even our player yet.
Exactly.
It looks like it's working fine. So
exactly
they announced him. I think they announced him yesterday. He had the press conference.
They've announced him. They've officially announced him right now, 4 minutes ago. Let's have a look.
But they did.
Yeah,
they did a video for him.
They've done their video. So I'm not going to play the sound. I'm just going to play the video in this particular stream.
Yeah, go watch it there, and it's great. Yeah. It looks great. But he had a very good press conference yesterday. If you didn't watch it, go watch it.
Yeah, I did. Very professional.
That is very the guy's very professional, knows exactly the expectations and knows where he are and knows how big Inter is. So he's excited though.
Cesare is someone who's actually been with us on this channel since I started doing audio podcasts 2 years ago, bro. So thank you for joining us again, Cesare. You've always had a lot to offer. And when you speak, I listen. So when you say Marotta, the genius without Lukaku and Hakimi, the team is better, I'm inclined to believe every single word you say, man. That's a nice little video that they've just done for Eden Dzeko. I don't know why the fans were complaining. I reckon it looks pretty nice. Let's see. Is there anything else to bring up? No, you know what?
Someone was still asking about Hernandez. Just rewind the video, and we talked about it. We don't think it's happening, and if it happens, good. But are we waiting for Hernandez? None of us. I don't think. No. Anthony, do you agree? I'm not waiting for him. I don't care.
Not anymore. Not anymore. Like we were looking at it was like when you've just got nothing to pick from. You're looking for scraps. No disrespect to him, but after signing Denzel Dumfries and Eden Dzeko, our bargaining power just got better. Cagliari might think that they could take us to the clean, and now Marotta's just going to look back and go, Hernandez, is he going to start over Dumfries? No. Is he that much better than Darmian? Can he clutch like D'Ambrosio? Is he as strong as Gagliardini, even in midfield physically? No. All of these factors, you're like, Hernandez, I'll welcome you with open arms, but Cagliari cannot be playing you off like you're some sort of Sergio Busquets in midfield, man. No way whatsoever. I still think we need another centre-back. Mo, how many minutes is Kolarov going to play at left centre-back this season?
0.
Good. So we do sort of need another centre back. How many minutes is Ranocchia going to play this season?
He's going to play.
What about
5 games? He's going to play 5 games.
Is D'Ambrosio going to play at right centre back even once this season?
A couple of games. Champions League when we play Wednesday and we play like Sunday. Yes.
So does Inter need another centre back?
Yes. We do. I'm thinking about it. Yes, we do. I think we do. If you want to keep the guys right here, you need to give them some rest. And we have 3 center backs that I don't think any of them is reliable other than maybe D'Ambrosio, but not very reliable in a 3 in the back. We might need a center back, but I'm not sure. Did we loan out that defender, the youth, the young kid? I don't know. But do we need him? Like, is the season gonna fall without a center back? No. Is it gonna be a little bit of a heavy legs sometimes? Maybe. But if Ranocchia can do the job sometimes, and D'Ambrosio, I think we're gonna be fine. We don't. Maybe if we get a center back, it would be good. Let me just rephrase what I said. We don't need a center back, but it's gonna be good if we get a center back.
Yeah, 100%, man. That's an interesting comment there about Berdisso. Are you talking about Indra? Are you talking about Nicolas Berdisso that used to play for us? Does he have some sort of association with Cagliari at the moment? Honestly, that's completely gone over my head. So if he does, you could definitely let me know. Other than that, guys, that's where we are going to wrap up another edition of what was a fantastic hour, 3 minutes on Inter Worldwide. There's still 38 people that stuck around this long, which is great. Make sure you like the video before you leave, share it on all platforms, and we are literally going to be back whenever there is news. For anybody that doesn't know, we are still in a heavy lockdown in Sydney, and I am a positive, optimistic person, which means I'm going to use all my free time to deliver myself to the English-speaking Inter community. Berdisso is Fiorentina technical director. Okay, maybe there's someone, maybe it's a different Berdisso. Yeah, I'm not too sure. But yeah, anyway, Mo, thank you so much for joining me again. It was an absolute treat, bruv.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for everybody that was here, and thanks for all the Inter fans that stuck by Inter all these years, and they won the Scudetto, and we're going to win it again, and Inzaghi's ball is going, and we're here. Inter is here, and Inter is still going to win, and we're going to win, Anthony, Scudetto this year. I said it here.
Cool, man. With every day and every video and every conversation that goes by, I'm starting to feel more confident. And I think the most rewarding thing is that as Inter fans, we were very reactive. So when you wake up, you know, you guys have the luxury of going through lunch and actually getting the Inter news in the afternoon. Try waking up at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, and the first thing you see is just 300 messages in 19 group chats, all of you guys swearing at each other about how pissed off everybody is with the club. But I've forgotten about it to the point where I am excited. Next season, we don't have that much of a monkey on our shoulder. The rival fans can't sit there and go that, oh, you know, we expect to win this year. You expected to win it. You basically bought the Scudetto. The excuses are going to run pretty thin next season, in my opinion, man. So from all of us here at Inter Worldwide, thank you once again. I can see people commenting saying thanks for the stream. It is our pleasure. The honor and privilege is ours. Forza Inter, Forza Italia. Ciao, ragazzi.